Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is absolutely lit it up in the FIBA World Cup qualifiers for Team Canada, averaging 28 points on a staggering 64% from the field. The impressive tools that Gilgeous-Alexander showcased to end the season last year have carried on into his international play. Possessions like this short mid-range jumper off of a hard cross are plays that Gilgeous-Alexander showcased routinely to end the season last year. Getting into these little pockets of space and creating separation for easy short mid-range jumpers was a fundamental part of Gilgeous-Alexander's efficiency boost towards the end of the season. And his incredible performances this summer have only lamented the fact that he may be the best driver in the entire sport. Take this possession here where SGA generates power off his back foot off a standstill and then uses varied elongated strides to waltz towards the paint. These type of dynamic drives that are reliant on Gilgeous-Alexander's link deceleration and proprioception are a staple of his game since his ascension to stardom. Take this possession in transition, for example. After a funky in-and-out dribble, Gilgeous gallops his way to the basket as his defender is turning his hip. Gilgeous' octopus-type arms make these type of contact finishes so simple. Speaking of finishing, Gilgeous' craft around the basket is among some of the best in the league. Here, off the catch, Gilgeous throws a in-and-out dribble to shake the help defender, using his off arm to trap the help defender on the side of him as he throws up a high arcing layup. His shot here is so high arcing that it gives the help defender virtually no chance of blocking it. Gilgeous' funk or herky-jerky or awkward movements even are something to behold of. Take this possession here, where Gilgeous is again attacking off the catch. He is able to maintain a compact dribble here before extending his arms and galloping off his back foot almost like a horse here. It is a combination of movements that seems way too awkward to work, but Gilgeous finds his balance at the end and it's an easy finish at the cup. Slashing and finishing aside, Gilgeous has been a ultra efficient shooter in his MVP run in the FIBA qualifiers. Gilgeous is a very elite space creator, but I don't think that his form will ever lend great pull-up three percentages. With that being said, there are indicators that Gilgeous is a better shooter than what he showcased last year. Gilgeous in the World Cup qualifiers shot a staggering 46% from three, and while a large portion of these outlandish percentages can be contributed to the fact that this was a smaller sample, a big reason is just how much better of a catch-and-shoot shooter Gilgeous is as opposed to a pull-up shooter. The last 3 years, Gilgeous has made 42.3% of his off-the-catch threes, and he's also hit 81% of his free throws on over 6 attempts. These indicators imply that Gilgeous' form is fine, and that when he's not taking late shot clock bailout pull-up threes, that he's a okay to even maybe good shooter. I lean more towards the okay side, and that's fine as long as teams are playing Gilgeous as if he's a shooting threat. He still presents the same issues to a defense. Speaking of issues to a defense, Gilgeous wasn't able to showcase a lot of his abilities as a passer during this run. But late last season, we saw Gilgeous leveraging his amazing rim pressure into high leverage advantage creation. Take this play late last season against the Bulls where Gilgeous, after getting downhill, spins off his back foot. Gilgeous proceeds to jump mid-air for what looks like a jump pass to the corner. Gilgeous waits for White to show any indication that he is racing towards the corner and then dots it towards man. This leads to 2 points for man and is an indication of high leverage decision making from Shai. Take this play against the Kings where after rejecting a screen, Shai is able to get a step on Davion Mitchell. Shai proceeds to again jump up for what seems like a pass to the wing, freezing what would be the low man in this situation in De'Aaron Fox, before firing a bouncer into Poku's hand for a easy dunk. And it's not just these type of reads. Shai is fairly effective as a underhanded bounce passer to the roll man out of the pick and roll. He often throws these ones early with a bunch of velocity, so it's harder for the defense to react. Gilgeous has also shown his ability to hit his rollers when they slip out of switches. And Gilgeous is a pretty effective lay-down artist when he's drawing the low man. The things that make Shai great on offense, you would like to show up on defense. Things like length and deceleration are integral parts to being a very good defender. But that hasn't really been Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, at least since he's become a star. But we do know Shai has some flashes of two-way potential like we saw in Kentucky or even in his early career as a Clipper and later as a Thunder. And Shai, for big portions of late last season, was able to unlock some of that potential. These flashes also show up in the FIBA World Cup qualifiers where Shai, after opposing guard gets past his hip, is able to recover maintaining stride for stride before decelerating on a stop for what seems like a easy big boy block. A reminder that Shai, towards the later half of last year in the last 22 games of the season, was averaging a staggering 2 steals per 75 possessions. The thief-like instincts that helped him nab almost 2 steals per game in the later half of last season show up on possessions like these, where he is clogging up a driving lane before getting his hands on a ball and taking it in transition. Possessions like these in the prior plays are what we want in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai, in the last 22 games of last year, averaged 29 points per 75 possessions and 7 assists. He did this through pick and roll mastery and self-created for raise to the rim. But Shai also showcased that he could be ultra efficient in a role where he's committed to things like taking catch and shoot threes, attacking off the catch, and playing consistent defense. When you get a combination of the two, a savvy pick and roll handler who can get a paint touch literally whenever he wants, and someone who is able to effectively play off ball through off ball slashing and very good catch and shoot shooting, along with a splash of two-way potential, you get Super Shai.